favorite criticism of the day?
What?
So we just put out this report. It was done by one of our analysts, Josh Meservy, who surveyed all the government projects that the Chinese government has contributed to in Africa, and then gone through an exhaustive list of how they use that to spy. Right? They just put spyware in there and wrote this nothing like it extensive report. And it was staggering, the amount of what the Chinese have done. Chinese military official today attacked the Heritage Report as a pack of lies. So we have been officially condemned by the Chinese Foreign Ministry.
Isn't that like a mark of? Is that a metric of you've done a good job?
I guess.
If the communist government of China calls you a bad guy, then that means what? You're a good guy.
And if you think about it, here's like, dude, it's a report from a think tank. When you make a big deal out of it, what is the entire world going to do? The entire world is going to run and click on that report to say, oh, my God, what did they say about China? And what they're going to find, of course, is it's not a pack of lies. It's documented. Extremely well documented and unprecedented information. So I guess I'm having a good day because I got, dinged by the Chinese government.
I guess the Chinese government has never heard of the Streisand effect. Don't circulate photographs of my house, says Barbara Streisand on the internet. So what happens? 48 million downloads later, you've got the Streisand effect.
Well, this gets to the larger issue. It's my next piece in Fox News is going to be on this, which is what are the Chinese up to here? They have so kind of doubled down on everything in the wake of all the pushback they've gotten on COVID. What are they really
well, let's map this out. So let's talk about this. So I don't think personally we'll ever know exactly what happened in Wuhan. We won't know if it's the intern got sick and passed it to her boyfriend or whether it was genetically engineered, bat, whatever. But what we can document is everything that happened after that. We can document the internal controls. We can document the arrests of scientists, journalists, the permissible travel of almost 5 million people out of the province across the globe. We can talk about the orders to shut down the genome evidence, to destroy the evidence, the cleaning of the so-called wet market. And then we can document what the government of China did through its proxies, through its ambassadors, to propagate lies about it. And now we have shall we call this the second phase? We have, we don't want an investigation by the United Nations. They say for 3 weeks. And then they say, yeah, we'll co-sponsor it. We'll run it.
Right.
Okay. So what is it? Making the best out of a bad situation? What are the Chinese doing, James Carafano?
Well, this is, I think, the really interesting question is what are the Chinese up to? Because having doubled down on pushing back and the criticism, it actually seems like it's inflamed the criticism. So look at the World Health Organization, for example. So administration got a lot of criticism for A, withholding the money, and then B, saying, hey, if they don't clean up their act in 30 days, we're out of here. We could debate the tactics and everything else. But here's the reality of it. When the United States stood up and did that, all of a sudden, a lot of other countries started standing up to China. So, for example, China in 2016 insisted that Taiwan be kicked out of observer status in the World Health Organization. We have over a dozen countries now stand up and say they should be back in.
By the way, let me just interject here. The 18-point letter the president sent to the World Health Organization used the word Taiwan in the letter more than once, sending a nice little spicy message there.
Yeah. And other countries have called for an independent investigation. So I think the United States leadership on the pushback has, one, given other people courage to stand up and push back more, good for U.S. leadership, but it's also frustrated the Chinese, and they've doubled down in very, very curious ways. They were just tweeting, taking claim for how well Taiwan responded to the coronavirus, calling them a province of China, and that's why they were successful at dealing with the coronavirus. This is almost...
But does it have its own